Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brendan Gillen. Bonjour, messieurs et mesdames. Je m'appelle Brendan Gillen. Au nom de l'Université McGill, je vous souhaite la bienvenue à la collation des grades 2018 de la Faculté des Arts. On behalf of McGill University, I welcome you to the 2018 Convocation of the Faculty of Arts. The ceremony will begin briefly in a few moments. Dans un instant, je vous soulignerai plusieurs points importants dans le déroulement de la cérémonie. In just a moment, I'll go over a few of the important points in the unfolding of the ceremony. But first, may I ask you to join me in giving a very warm round of applause to the Brian Sang Quintet. La cérémonie commencera avec l'entrée du cortège d'honneur et terminera avec sa sortie. Au moment de l'entrée du cortège, je vais vous demander de vous lever. The ceremony will begin with the entrance of the platform party and end with its departure. And just as it's about to enter, I'll ask you all to stand. Une fois le cortège est installé sur la tribune, la Dr. Tracy Smith-Bissett chantera l'hymne de l'université. Once the members of the platform party have found their places on the stage, Dr. Tracy Smith-Bissett will sing the university hymn. Le chancelier Michael Meehan, aussi bien que la principale Suzanne Fortier, vous adresseront chacun un bref discours suivi par l'allocution de Hillel Neuer, qui aura tout juste reçu son doctorat honoris causa. The Chancellor and the Principal will each say a few words. This will be followed by the convocation address given by Hillel Neuer, who will just received his honorary doctorate. Après la remise des diplômes, Madame Lexie Michaud prononcera le discours d'adieu. Right after the diplomas have been conferred, Ms. Lexie Michaud will give the valediction. Tout de suite après, la secrétaire générale, Edith Rogowska, prononcera quelques mots de clôture et la docteure Tracy Smith-Bissett chantera l'hymne national. So once that's done, there'll be a few closing words by the Secretary General, Edith Rogowska, and there'll be the singing of the national anthem by Dr. Tracy Smith-Bissett. Le cortège d'honneur partira en premier, suivi par les diplômés, en commençant par l'avant et en passant vers l'arrière. So the platform party will leave first and followed by those who have just received their diplomas, starting with the rows closest to the stage and proceeding towards the back. J'invite le doyen adjoint des étudiants, Glenn Zabowska, à vous informer des mesures de sécurité mises en place dans l'éventualité très peu probable d'une urgence. I now invite the Associate Dean of Students, Glenn Zabowska, to inform you about the security measures that have been put in place in the very unlikely event that there's an emergency. Thank you.
Bienvenue à McGill. Welcome to McGill and to this year's Convocation. We are so pleased that you've joined us here today. Congratulations on the success of your graduating friend or family member. A lot of work has gone in to them being here today, so let's cherish this truly a great milestone. My name is Glenn Zabowski. My role is Associate Dean of Students, and I'm here to tell you about our emergency evacuation procedures. Now, the weather is okay. We have ordered sun for the end of the ceremony. At least it's a little cool. Trust me, last week was a little difficult when the humidex was around 35, 40 degrees, so at least it'll be comfortable in here today. As Brandon said, it's very unlikely that we would have an evacuation. Trust me, I teach statistics here at McGill University, so I do know a bit about probability theory. Si une évacuation des lieux devenant nécessaire, la régisseur en fera l'annonce. Vous devrez alors quitter le temps sans tarder. If an evacuation is required, the registrar will make an announcement. You will then be required to leave the tent immediately, and we have the following instructions. Many smart people have put together a very tight plan so that everyone is taken care of today. So please do the following. Don't follow the graduates. They will be evacuated to a different location. Ushers and security officers will guide you to either the field across the street from the tent, or if the weather does go bad, to a designated evacuation position. The colored lines on the roadway outside the tent correspond to the color of your chair and lead to your designated evacuation shelter. Please leave all baby strollers behind, but let me remind you, please take your children with you. You may refer to the evacuation map at the back of your program for more information. And of course, if you need assistance, please speak with an usher or a security officer. They could take care of you. Once the emergency is over, announcements will be made at the evacuation sites to inform you of what will happen next. And of course, any information will be posted on our website at www.mcgill.ca. Je vous remercie de votre attention. Passez une journée inoubliable et encore une fois, félicitations aux diplômés. Thank you for your attention. Have a wonderful day. And once again, congratulations. We now have a brief 2-minute video for you. Then you're going to hear the sound of the bagpipes with the platform party arriving.
Maria Gracia. I did honors in Latin American Studies and International Development.
My name is Akil Varani and I'm a visual artist and graphic designer based in Montreal.
Je m'appelle Guillaume Drouin-Garneau, je suis ancien de McGill. J'ai gradué en 2012.
Once I graduated, I really wanted to find a way to stay connected with the university. I did some research and found the McGill Women's Alumni Association. It really spoke to me because of their mission to highlight what female grads have been contributing to the community.
Ma participation au sein du club cycliste de McGill, je pense qu'on est une super belle gang, puis encore aujourd'hui, on voit des anciens, des jeunes qui sont étudiants, puis on fait des sorties ensemble, on partage une passion. Donc...
I've spoken at homecoming events, the McGill Young Alumni Association.
How I got involved with the mentor-mentee program with the McGill Alumni Association was actually I was trying to find a way to give my time to McGill.
I definitely recommend any mentorship program, whether it's having a connection to other people or advice from someone who's been through it.
Through McGill Connect, I was introduced to this global network of McGill alumni who I had something in common with. I made the decision that London, England would be best for me to kickstart my career.
I want to wish the graduating class all the best of luck.
This is the beginning of a very exciting new chapter in your life.
Bonne chance à tous, je vous souhaite du succès dans vos projets futurs. Have fun, enjoy the ride, and be patient.
So there'll be some few seconds while the platform party is preparing to arrive. Let me take this opportunity just to remind people to put your cell phones on silent so we don't have cell phones ringing. I appreciate that. Second thing would be useful is to remind you of these exits here and here are emergency exits. They're not to be used unless there is an emergency. If you need to leave during the ceremony, you can leave by the exit that you came in by. And if you need to use the lavatories, there's some lavatories all the way in the back. And finally, it would be helpful to us, we line up the students on your left, to my right. So please, it would be helpful to us if people don't use that aisle unless it's absolutely necessary, because it's difficult getting students out and lined up so they can proceed up to the platform in an orderly fashion. Donc juste un rappel d'éteindre vos téléphones cellulaires. Deuxièmement, juste vous le dire que les sorties ici et là sont des sorties d'urgence, donc on ne les emploie que pour des urgences. Et finalement, s'il vous plaît, gardez l'allée sur votre gauche, ma droite, libre. C'est là qu'on met en ligne toutes les diplômés qui vont monter sur la tribune, donc c'est assez difficile déjà. Donc je pense que vous pouvez entendre, I'm sure you can hear the bagpipes, so enjoy the sound as they approach, and I'll tell you when it's necessary to stand. Thank you. Please stand.
Please be seated. Veuillez vous asseoir. Thank you, Dr. Smith-Bassett. Good morning, graduating students, families, and friends. As Chancellor and on behalf of McGill University, I welcome you today to our beautiful, if somewhat chilly, downtown campus to celebrate the class of 2018 and the students graduating from the Faculty of Arts. Bonjour à tous les diplômés, proches et amis. À titre de chancelier et au nom de l'Université McGill, je vous souhaite la bienvenue sur notre magnifique campus du centre-ville, afin de célébrer la cérémonie de collation des grades 2018 et de souligner les réalisations des diplômés de la Faculté des Arts. Let me begin by offering my sincere congratulations to each and every one of you. En cette journée mémorable, c'est un immense honneur pour moi d'être ici et de vivre avec vous cette étape importante de votre vie. I have a keen appreciation of the importance of this day and the memories you will keep with you of this moment in your life. Once upon a time, when dinosaurs ruled the land, I too was sitting in an audience as part of a graduating class at McGill. And I'd taken much the same journey as you to arrive at this day. Although in my case, I remember calling my friends with a rotary dial phone, writing essays on a typewriter, and taking my graduation photos with a film camera. But some considerable time later, I returned on 2 occasions as the parent of McGill graduates, and like all parents here today, I was beaming with pride. Et maintenant, à titre de chancelier, j'ai le privilège d'assister aux cérémonies de collation des grades chaque année. Nous pouvons donc affirmer sans crainte de nous tromper que ces cérémonies n'ont pas de secret pour moi. So whether as a graduate, a parent, or a chancellor, the occasion remains to me a richly deserved celebration of your hard work, commitment, sacrifice, and achievement. So bravo and well done to you all. One of the traditions of Convocation is for older people like me to give advice to younger people like you. And make no mistake, like most older people, I love giving advice. But I thought that this year I'd turn it around and do something different. I think the term is disruptive. The fact is, I think the class of 2018 has a lot of good advice for me and others of my vintage. So I'd like to take this occasion to tell you about some of the things I've learned from you over the past years. I've learned that if you have a good idea, you can act on it very quickly. It could be starting a new business venture, or helping your community, or rallying people around a worthy cause. And there are many, many examples in this audience of graduates who've taken action, used social media, crowdfunding, and other tools to make good things happen. I've also learned that traditional fields of study or expertise, or even experience, don't pigeonhole students or restrict their initiatives. On the contrary, our graduates are probably the most connected class in the history of McGill. You routinely reach out across disciplines, fields of study, campuses, the community, and even time zones to collaborate, meet with, and work with others. And I've learned that no person or community in need is off limits to the compassion of our graduates. You dedicate your time and volunteer your efforts to myriad causes, devastated communities, wrongly convicted Canadians, environmental challenges, student caregivers, mental health, the plight of the homeless, patients in local hospitals, and your fellow students, and many, many more. These are great qualities, and I could very easily stop right here, say thank you, and sit down. Probably something you wish I would do. However, as Chancellor, I'm contractually obligated to add my own 2 cents. So to these qualities, I would add a few very traditional and non-disruptive suggestions for your consideration. You may find that even at the speed of the internet, you can run into roadblocks or hurdles, often in the form of rules or processes. Those hurdles slow things down, and it can be very frustrating. Sometimes being patient can seem like just a waste of time, but be patient anyway. Being patient doesn't mean being complacent. It just means taking a longer route to your final destination. And sometimes the desire to achieve a goal or make your voice known can run into opposition or contrary points of view. When you have a strong viewpoint, compromise may be the last thing you want to do, but compromise anyway. Sometimes, you don't get exactly what you want, but you end up getting exactly what is required. Compromise sure isn't perfect, but it often works. And sometimes the age of social media can render you absolutely furious at people who shout you down or reduce debate to insults. That can make you so angry that you can't imagine showing the least bit of kindness to your enemies. But be kind anyway. A world based on escalating anger and intolerance isn't really much of a world. Sometimes you have to back away from harsh words and outrage in order to make a better, more compassionate society. Our world needs more, much more thoughtful discourse, more room for diverse voices, more tolerance and understanding, more kind words, and less rancor. Il y a quelques années, alors qu'un bon nombre d'entre vous amorçaient leur parcours universitaire, les poètes canadiens Patrick Lane et Lorna Crozier recevaient un doctorat honorifique de l'Université McGill. Ils ont prononcé leur allocution sous forme de poème et demandé aux nouveaux diplômés « Où trouverez-vous maintenant ce qui nourrira votre existence ?» I think much of what you've learned over the past few years can and will sustain you. Your knowledge, your friendships, your experience, and your connection with McGill. So do keep finding ways to share your creativity with others. Do act on your good intentions and good ideas. Do keep your hearts open to your friends and supporters here at McGill, because wherever you go in this world, this will always be your home, and we will always cheer your successes and accomplishments. So do stay in touch, and not just for today, but throughout your journey as a McGill graduate. I hope this day is both a joyous ending and an auspicious beginning for all of you. And thanks very much for your good advice. Merci. J'aimerais maintenant inviter la professeure Suzanne Fortier, principale et vice-chancelière de l'Université McGill, à s'adresser à l'auditoire. Madame Fortier.
Bienvenue aux finissants de 2018. Welcome to the graduating class of 2018. I'm joined here today by your families and friends, by our Chancellor, the Chair of our Board, our governors, by our distinguished honorary award recipients, by special guests and esteemed colleagues. We're here together to say how proud we are of you and of everything that has gotten you here today. C'est pour nous tous un immense bonheur de vous féliciter pour vos accomplissements et votre persévérance. Today is a very special day. Take time to celebrate. Take time also to look around you. You're surrounded by people who have been there for you, who have supported you, who have been cheering for you from day one. So I'm going to ask the class of 2018 to please stand up and you give a big round of applause to all those people who have been there for you. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Let's take time also to celebrate and be grateful for the great gift that was given to each one of us, human intelligence. You know, there's a lot of talk these days about intelligence, and in particular about artificial intelligence. It seems that not a day goes by without us hearing or seeing those two letters, AI. Et ce qui semblait de la science-fiction il n'y a pas très longtemps fait maintenant partie de nos vies quotidiennes. Des machines, des robots qui effectuent des tâches que nous seuls pouvions effectuer dans le passé, des systèmes algorithmes qui puisent dans des vastes banques de données pour en tirer des connaissances, des logiciels qui peuvent anticiper nos désirs, même avant nous. And in the not-so-distant future, it's quite likely that we humans will share the road with driverless cars, will be treated by autonomous surgical robots, and will be learning through immersive virtual reality simulators. Many people worry about the impact AI will have on our lives. How will AI change the way we live, the way we work, and the way we connect with one another? Will it displace us? Will it make us irrelevant? Will it accentuate the disparity of opportunity and wealth in the world? And at a deeper level, how will AI affect humanity and ethical behavior? Ce sont évidemment des questions très importantes à se poser, surtout si on veut bâtir un avenir, un nouvel avenir bénéfique pour l'humanité. Malgré les possibilités de scénarios négatifs, personnellement, j'imagine un avenir plein d'espoir et de potentiel. Et je maintiens cette perspective parce que je crois fermement aux qualités uniques de l'intelligence humaine. Throughout history, we've been awed and inspired by visionaries who could imagine new realities and universe way beyond what we could observe. Think, for example, of Albert Einstein and the theory of relativity. Think of the great Canadian author, Margaret Atwood, and The Handmaid's Tale. Right here at McGill, think of the legendary neuropsychologist Brenda Milner, who decoded some of the finer intricacies of the human brain without the help of today's high-tech equipment. But for progress to be positive, it must come from a place of thoughtful reflection, environmental awareness, and social responsibility. Using all the attributes of the complex human mind, not only logical reasoning, but also emotional intelligence, creativity, and compassion, we can take action to help create inclusive and caring communities. And we can draw here again from examples right here at McGill. Examples such as the great philosopher, Charles Taylor, or the head of Médecins Sans Frontières, Dr. Joanne Liu. And in a few moments, we'll be honoring a distinguished McGill alumnus, Mr. Hillel Neuer. Whether in the capacity of an international lawyer or as an executive director of the UN Watch NGO, he's a passionate advocate for human rights, fighting tirelessly against discrimination, torture, and injustice. Like so many McGill alumni, Mr. Neuer has put his intelligence at the service of society to nurture positive progress. And I believe that each one of you, in your own way, will use your intelligence to do the same. You're asking bold questions and using all facets of your human intelligence to answer them. You're engaging with complex problems, taking action, getting ready to take on leadership in society. You're connected to your community near and far and eager to make a positive impact on the world. This revolution driven by AI will not define you. You will define it. And as you enter a new chapter in your life, please do keep in touch. Vous faites maintenant partie d'une belle et grande famille et les portes de l'Université McGill vous seront toujours très grandes ouvertes. Revenez nous voir le plus souvent possible. Félicitations, congratulations.
Thank you, Principal Fortier. McGill is very honored today to celebrate the achievement of one of its own, Mr. Hillel Nauer. I invite Professor Antonia Maione, Dean of the Faculty of Arts, to present our distinguished alumni, that he may have conferred upon him the highest recognition that it is within the power of this university to grant. And I ask Mr. Nauer to please stand and join me at center stage for the presentation of the award.
Monsieur le Chancelier, Mr. Chancellor. Born and raised in Montreal, Hillel Nauer holds a BA from Concordia University, a BCL and LLB from our Faculty of Law, and an LLM in Comparative Constitutional Law from the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. An international lawyer and writer, he is the Executive Director of UN Watch, a human rights NGO that supports the just and apolitical application of the values and principles of the United Nations Charter. Prior to joining UN Watch, Hillel Nauer served as a law clerk for Justice Itzhak Zamir at the Supreme Court of Israel. It was while practicing commercial and civil rights litigation at the law firm of Paul, Weiss, Rifkind, Wharton, and Garrison, LLP, that he first became known as an active human rights defender at the international level. Described as someone who walks softly but carries a big microphone, Mr. Nauer regularly testifies before the United Nations Human Rights Council on behalf of victims in Darfur, China, Russia, and Venezuela, and the cause of peace in the Middle East. He has been an innovator, creating global platforms for courageous dissidents and champions of human rights from around the world. As a founder and chair of the annual Geneva Summit for Human Rights and Democracy, he leads a cross-regional coalition of 25 non-governmental organizations that, over the past decade, have placed an international spotlight on urgent human rights situations. He has, in a word, been instrumental in giving a voice to the voiceless. When the city of Chicago, Illinois, declared September 15, 2016, to be Hillel Nauer Day, the City Council adopted a resolution that cited his role as one of the world's foremost human rights advocates. The Council spoke of his contribution to promote peace, justice, and human rights around the world, and described him as someone whose hard work, sacrifice, and dedication serve as an example to all. Of his tireless, passionate quest to expose injustice, Hillel Nauer once said that certain regimes may not like what he does, but the human rights victims do. And this, to him, is what is most important. Mr. Chancellor, I present to you Mr. Hillel Nauer so that you may confer upon him the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
It's now my pleasure to invite our most recent distinguished double graduate to join us and deliver the Convocation address. Dr. Nauer.
Chancellor Meehan, Principal and Vice Chancellor Fortier, Mr. Panda, Chair of the Board of Governors, proud parents and guests, and most of all, members of the graduating class of 2018. The first time I graduated from McGill, I actually missed Convocation because I was away on exchange, but this is quite a way to make up for it. To the graduates, given that after all your labors, I am the last thing at McGill standing between you and your degrees, I promise to be brief. Félicitations. You have all worked so hard to reach this milestone. Your loved ones and the McGill community are proud of your accomplishments and full of hope for what you will achieve next as you embark on your future path. This morning, I would like to share with you what McGill has meant to me and my work in human rights, and to tell you about brave individuals on the front lines of this struggle. Let me begin by saying how profoundly grateful and touched I am. It's like I'm back at the United Nations.
As a university, McGill is committed to freedom of expression and the right of individuals to express dissent. Having expressed your views, and out of respect for those who are here to celebrate their accomplishments of our graduates, I'd ask that you refrain from further interruptions. Having expressed your dissent out of respect for those who are here to celebrate our graduates, I would ask that you refrain from further interruptions as you leave the tent. Thank you. I would ask that you refrain from further interruptions as you leave the tent. Thank you very much for expressing your views as you leave the tent. I would now like to turn the microphone back over to Dr. Neuer.
Let me begin by saying how profoundly grateful and touched I am to be accorded this great distinction from a university for which I have such respect and affection, and which has played a formative role in my life. In conferring upon me this degree, McGill cited my work on behalf of dissidents and political prisoners. These people defy oppressive regimes to defend human liberty, democracy, and the rule of law, and it is to these courageous men and women around the world that I dedicate this honor. Since I was a child, McGill was a place that I venerated, not least because it was where my father had studied law. I had heard of his legendary professors like F.R. Scott, the great Canadian constitutional scholar, social activist, and poet. And so the day I received my own letter of admission to McGill Law School is one I will always remember. I was home with my parents, and we drank a toast to celebrate. This morning, I'm fortunate once again to have my family here, together with childhood friends, at what for me is another special moment. Now, 14 years ago, when I arrived at the United Nations, I was fortunate to come bearing the human rights legacy of this university. At McGill, I had the privilege to work with the iconic international human rights scholar advocate of our time, Professor Irwin Cotler, who would go on to become Minister of Justice and Attorney General of Canada. It was in his courses that I studied the work of F.R. Scott, who taught both Professor Cotler and his father, when from the 1930s to 50s, the premier of this province enacted laws and policies that targeted communists and Jehovah's Witnesses. Lawyers were afraid to represent the victims. It was McGill Professor F.R. Scott who had the moral courage to push back in the courts and to successfully defend freedom of speech and opinion, freedom of religion, and the rule of law. Civil liberties, said Scott, are always needed most by unpopular people. And I had the privilege to learn from Professor John Humphrey, author of the first draft of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the 70th anniversary of which we are celebrating this year. I am indebted to McGill for instructing me in this noble tradition. Now, the mission of my organization, UN Watch, is to see that the United Nations lives up to the principles of its charter. Yet when people see tyrannies winning elections to United Nations human rights bodies, despite our best efforts to uphold the official criteria, I am often asked whether I feel discouraged. The answer is I don't, because I believe it is essential to speak the truth. As it is written in the tractate Pirkei Avot, on three things the world stands: on justice, on truth, and on peace. But the other reason I don't despair is because a large part of our work is interacting with brave and inspiring individuals whose voices we bring before the United Nations and before the world. I am inspired by people like Dr. Yang Jian Li. Born and raised in China, he holds a PhD in math from Berkeley and another in political economy from Harvard. He could have led a quiet life as a successful academic, but Jian Li, my friend, chose to stand up for the freedom of his people. Yesterday marked the 29th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre in Beijing, where up to 10,000 pro-democracy activists were killed. Jian Li was in the US at the time, but he immediately flew back to join the protesters. He witnessed soldiers firing on peaceful protesters and tanks running over people. Jian Li survived, but he was arrested in 2002 and jailed for 5 years. Speaking at our Geneva Summit for Human Rights, he explained how meaningful it was for people to support political prisoners. Quote, "I was kept in solitary confinement for nearly 15 months. You just collapse in that situation until a day when I received a bag of cards from all over the world. There were more than 200 cards. Ever since that moment, I stood up. I stood up even in my prison cell. I saw the hope." And I'm inspired by people like Rosa Maria Paya. Her father, Oswaldo Paya, was Cuba's leading dissident, advocating civil liberties and the release of political prisoners, and daring to organize 11,000 Cubans to sign a petition for democracy. He was sentenced to hard labor and persecuted. In 2012, Oswaldo Paya was killed when his car was rammed from behind. Many believe the Cuban government was responsible. Rosa Maria was only 23 years old when she lost her father. Yet instead of being intimidated and defeated, she has become a leading human rights activist like her father, demanding free elections, lobbying world leaders, and bearing witness. Defiantly, she goes back into Cuba, and this year presented the second annual Oswaldo Paya Prize in her father's house in Havana. And finally, I'm inspired by people like Vladimir Kara-Murza, one of the leading democracy activists in Russia. He speaks before parliaments worldwide and played a key role in spurring the US Magnitsky Law, which sanctions Russian human rights violators. As a result, Vladimir was twice poisoned in Moscow in May 2015 and February 2017, leaving him in a coma and close to death. Despite the risks, he is undeterred. I feel, says Vladimir, that those of us who are the public face of the opposition have a responsibility to continue our work. Friends, what can we learn from these and other brave dissidents? First, words and ideas matter. The reason unelected regimes target dissidents is because they fear their words. Ideas like freedom of speech, whether here on campus or elsewhere, must never be taken for granted. Second, those who take on challenges far greater than our own teach us to be determined. Never give up. As Eleanor Roosevelt said, quote, "Nothing has ever been achieved by the person who says it can't be done." Third, in the words of Elie Wiesel, we must take sides. Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the victim. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented. To the graduates, I wish you to go out and be successful. Take a stand. Change the world. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Dr. Noer. I think you can judge by the audience's reaction how inspirational your address was, and brief, and much appreciated. We'll now proceed with the conferral of academic degrees. Professor Christopher Manfredi, Provost and Vice Principal Academic, will begin the formal proceedings. Professor Manfredi.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I am pleased to invite the students graduating from the Faculty of Arts for the conferral of degrees. This is a truly momentous event in the cycle of a university's life, particularly at McGill, where we have such talented and accomplished students. Each student crossing the stage this morning will be greeted by the Chancellor, the Principal, or the Chair of the Board of Governors. Students receiving their first degree shall remove their mortarboard or hat. At center stage, they will be symbolically capped, signaling ceremonially the conferral of the degree. Students who have already earned a university degree keep their mortarboard on and will be congratulated by a tap on the shoulder. The parchment or degree itself is given to students after they have a photo taken and leave the stage. You may have seen some students wearing red or white scarves. All self-identifying Indigenous students, First Nations, Inuit, and Métis, are entitled to wear graduation scarves at Convocation, in the community, and at any and all future McGill events that they attend. The red scarf is for those receiving a degree, and white for those getting a diploma or certificate. The feather has two meanings: respect for the person and the mark of an amazing or special event. The Confederacy belt signifies attachment to and respect for the land on which we live, and the turtle symbolizes the inclusiveness of all nations and respect for diversity. It is fitting that we recognize our Indigenous graduates in this way, just as we recognize that McGill University is on land which long served as a site of meeting and exchange amongst Indigenous peoples, including the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe nations. We acknowledge and thank the diverse Indigenous peoples whose presence have enriched this territory on which the peoples of the world now gather. En vertu des pouvoirs qui me sont conférés par le Sénat de McGill, je déclare que les candidats dont le nom figure sur la liste officielle des diplômés de l'université, qu'ils soient présents ou absents, ont satisfait aux exigences de leur grade, diplôme ou certificat respectif. By virtue of the powers conferred upon me by McGill's Senate, I declare that the candidates whose names appear on the university's official list of graduates, whether they be present or absent, have satisfied the requirements for the respective degrees, diplomas, or certificates. By tradition at McGill, we begin with students receiving graduate degrees, followed by students receiving undergraduate degrees. I now invite Professor Emeritus Bruce Shore to introduce the graduates, and Professor Antonia Maione, Dean of the Faculty of Arts, to congratulate all graduating students. Congratulations to the class of 2018. Félicitations.
For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Anthropology, Darcy Ann D'Angelo. Sasha? For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Social Work, Sasha Nicole Bailey. Lise Marie Milne. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Sociology, Mylène Allary. Jialing He. Jennifer Marie Marcy Sigouin. Ali Zedin. For the degree of Master of Arts in Geography, David Rosner Crook. For the degree of Master of Science applied in Couple and Family Therapy, Laurence Charlebois Plante. Virginie Doré Gauthier. Laura El Hashem. Marie-Pierre Girard Loriot. Marco Goupil. Esther Rebecca Hart. Catherine Canty Falardeau. Sean Sampali Anandampillai. Samara M. Yesevich. For the degree of Master of Social Work, Matthew McLaughlin. Allison Nicole McLaren. Candace Snook. Thank you. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Anthropology, Celine Katja Altentour, with distinction. Maria Daniela Aranibar Zebalos. Thank you. Emma Elizabeth Avery, Dean's Honor List. April Marion Barrett. Marine Amelia Blanchard. Bosser. Spencer Eric Bosser. Eloise Jane Brie. Catherine Kaya Bissonnette. Alexander Newkirk Choate. Maude Cossette. Nadège Marie de Lon Rohrbacher. Leona Silva Gibbs Bravo. Giovanni Yugabaz. Cassandra Shanley Jones, the Norman Prentice Award and Dean's Honor List. Yuki Kasai Pare. Emily Kite. Nathaniel Lamont, Dean's Honor List. Zoe Ann Somerville Law with distinction. Eugene Iris Lee. Okay. Sarah Lynn Lepage. Ariane Maynard, Dean's Honor List. Motivans? Anton Motivans. Jade Prévost Manuel. Marianne Pauline L. Rouche. Maria Joselle Santiago. Sangyu Shen. Is that Chloe or Chloe? Chloe Jordana Simone. Alec Wolpert Tilley, Dean's Honor List. Noémie Tremblay-Lamontagne. Campbell Johnson Vesey. Chelsea Weir, First Class Honors. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Environment, Benjamin Nathan Bellman. Daniela Renee Cervantes Castro. Epstein or Epstein? Epstein. Thank you. Julia Esther Sarachek Epstein. Peter Edward Garber, First Class Honors and Dean's Honor List. May Louise Obeka with distinction. Okay. Cody Kane. Christina Kozukan. Catherine Anna Mulderi. Ivana Nedyalkova. Yuki Omura. Maya Christina Pitcairn. Eleanor Salter Reynolds. Eleanor Rose Siri. Sydney Sibidlo. Okay. Divine. Devine Usabes. Kaylin Zhang. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Geography, Camille Margot Babington. Caroline Esther Bélanger. Gotcha. Emma Barabee. Alexander Francis Carter. Virginie Chénier. Hannah Kathleen Lillian Demick. Pierre-Olivier Gaudreau with distinction. Jayton Kieran Gosal. Dorothy Frances Heinrich, First Class Honors and Dean's Honor List. Alice Alexandra Hollis. Natalie Kang with distinction. That's what I'm doing. Luana Nemtianu. Miles Keeler. Andrew Michael Klukas. Vanessa Lee with distinction. Ki-Cheng Ma. Tamara Lisa Mitchell. Muirhead. Sarah Yinde Muirhead. Kinsey Frances Daphne Murdoch. Selena Marie Alto Penny. Piazza. Olivia Margot Piazza. You need one of these. William Matthew Bryant Poole. Noe Harrison Schultz. Simon? Simon James Wicker Thomason, with distinction. Caroline Elaine Thompson. Toy. Brian Joshua Toy, first class honors and Dean's Honor List. V. Alex Jia Trong. Sharanya Venkatesh. Sarah Waters. Got it. Charlotte Zeininger. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in International Development Studies, Olivia Jordan Adams with distinction. Kashif Syed Ahmed with distinction and first-class honors. Aspen Nicole Albrecht. Clémence Alice Allard. Last name? Thank you. Benjamin Addison Alloy, distinction and first-class honors. Elena Armengao Ribeiro. Amanda Madeline Ocielo. Alicia Chavanel Avianto, honors. Layal Awada. Leighton Joyce Belaño. Nadège Baptiste. Julie Barral. Sophie Beaton, Dean's Honor List. Elsa Bandine, First Class Joint Honors with World Islamic and Middle East Studies. Oban Billet. That's Boykos? Faye Fortini Boykos. Emma Isabel Bonnet, First Class Honors and Dean's Honor List. Theodora Brogan. Prairie Elizabeth Broughton, distinction and first class honors. Christina Bruno, honors. Julia Claire Bouget, first class honors and Dean's Honor List. Christopher Lawrence Friedrich Bune, honors. Maya Tsuji Bush. Valériane Bousselot. Yasmine Diana Shaul. Aroha Chima, Dean's Honor List. Jai Chen. Shannon Christina Chen Si with distinction and first class honors. Su Ting Chi. Wei Chen. Yasmin Rajai Dajani. Last name Talbot or Talbot? Talbot. Malik Debi Talbot with distinction. En français or in English? Okay. Nolwenn Anna Delille. Juliette Mercedes Desormes, joint honors with political science and distinction. Andrea Dobrea. Mamina Doken. Kelly Ducharme. Salma El Abdouni. Thank you. Misora Alexandra Ensline. Fleischauer. Kathleen Mary Fleischauer. Sophie Eva Gagne Landman, distinction and first class joint honors in environment and international development studies. Liam Anthony Gentile with distinction. Canella Gwen Marie Gerber. Last name Gore. Alexa Gore with honors. Tristan Earl Grupp. Mehar Gujral, honors. Marie-Hélène Gyorog. Last name Hawk? Gibran Eman Hawk. Riley Claire Healy, honors. Est-ce que c'est answer from you bon? Anna Sophia Hibon with distinction. Shi Yun Hua, Dean's Honor List. Larissa Ituze, First Class Honors. Ian James Anthony Jewett. Haley G. Fatou Alhia Idrissa Diane. Angie Isaza. Thank you. Gabrielle Noor Kasha with honors. Nabil Khan with honors. Sarah Fatima Khan. Shad Khan. Michelle Gabrielle Klein with honors. Lucas Klokanis. Maya Lanze Alice Lama with honors. Victoria Lecker. Rebecca Lisa Lorusso, Dean's Honor List. Jonathan Lopez Naranjo, Joint Honors with Political Science. Yao Lu. They're moving right along. That's great. Luce? Amy Elizabeth Luce, Dean's Honor List. Laura Jean McIntyre with distinctions, Honorable Sheila Feinstone Award in Women's Studies. Maric. Marina Maric, First Class Honors. Sarah McDonald. Fiona Claire McCraith. Nina Miliode with distinction. Ishani Mitra. Alexia Martel Desjardins, Dean's Honor List. I can do that. Carmela Ueneza Munuzangabo. Nora Margaret Murphy. Sophie Noel, First Class Honors. Sean Nosek, First Class Honors. Morgane Ollier, Honors. Nicole Pelletier. Sonia Perez, First Class Honors. Maria Grace Pearson, Distinction. Julia Pinchuk. You need that to get your degree. Tessa Françoise Powell. Okay. Hannah Pirlevsky. Vanessa Percio. Abigail Francis Quinlan. Mallory Rappaport. Jules-Yves Alexandre Régis. Michelle Rugamba. Paige Nicole Burgess Rumelt. Yasmin Shahzadeh. Nico Short. Thank you. Lucas Nessim Snage. Sedinam Arnel Afi Soga with honors. Charlotte Alice Strahl. Rebecca Joy Summers, distinction. Simon Pierre Talbot. Miriam Tanus. Katya Julia Tawagi. Georgia Theriot. Sylvie Tran, Dean's Honor List. Constance Trepanier. Elisa Vayani Valette, First Class Honors and Dean's Honor List. Sarah Jane Virginie. Hannah Elizabeth Wanlin with honors. Olivia Jane Maloney Watson. Genevieve Westgate with distinction. Laura Liesa Wiebe. Alia Bassam Zaki. Katie Ting Zhang with honors. Troy Jonathan Bjorkman, distinction and first-class joint honors with political science. Julia Khalil. Thank you. It's okay, I got it. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Psychology, Nimra Adil. Kylene Ann Aguila with distinction and first-class honors. Farah Akram Munir Kamel. Nicole Jennifer Anderson. Julia Paxton Askew with distinction. Asmara Awada, Dean's Honor List. Talia Yehudit Azrieli. Nimra Bandakwala. Camille Bélanger. Sreya Belbase. Ian Daniel Bernstein, first class honors and Dean's Honor List. Juliana Bilash. Bianca Mihaela Pearson. Michel Boivin, Dean's Honor List. Lila Brunston. Sarah Francesca Bussin, distinction. Maria Angelica Camacho, first class honors and Dean's Honor List. Grace Camilleri. Maria Lucia Capuano with distinction. Amber Barbara Carlson. Thank you. Juliana Filomena Carrozza with distinction. Kayla Carrero. Thank you. Emily Marie Carrero Falcone. Emily Josephine Carroll. Emma Madeline Carruthers with distinction. Maria Olivia Castellano. Middle name is Isabella Santazo Colela. Pascal Chapados with distinction. Marine Chapdelaine. Jeanette Emanuela Chu. Gabrielle Cloutier. Alana Jasmine Cohen, first class honors and Dean's Honor List. Flaminia Cooper. Pronounce last name? Thank you. Solmaz Idil Cooper. Sadia Cousineau, for distinction and first class honors. Elizabeth Hui Query. Kilar Daig. Gabriela Licaros de Guzman. Maxine Denis. Selena Desabre. Paula Dignoes. Eden Chase Dublin. Jonathan Doherty. Okay, I'll say it. Stefania Donaire Pimentel, Dean's Honor List. Sarah Michelle Doyle. Thank you. Clara? Clara Arlene Dutton-Neves. Charlotte McLeod Ebsari, First Class Joint Honors with International Development Studies and Dean's Honor List. Leah Jane Edosadese. Jolie Ines Elkins. Amina Omar El Tantawi. Xiaoyan Fang, First Class Honors and Dean's Honor List. Christina Fazari. Lisa Marie Giorgio, Distinction and First Class Honors. Rubeneko Crystal Ferdinand Peterkin. Sasha Fernandez. Micah Philip Flavin. Elizabeth Anna Forlini. Catherine Fournier. Naomi Foxen-Kraft. Julia Fuoco. Iking Gan. Olivia Garzon. Irene? Irene Janis, First Class Honors, Dean's Honor List. Hannah Rose Gianotti. Julie Giroir, Dean's Honor List. Ariana Elizabeth Giuliano. Julia Sarah Goldberg. Thank you. Zoe Goldstein. Rachel Hannah Gottlieb. Anael Haddad. Melody Hamburger, the Sarah Rosenfeld Prize in Yiddish. Harrison Kieran Heath. Elena Mary Heighton, First Class Honors and Dean's Honor List. Banvi Ho. What do you want me to say? Okay. Claire Ho. Stephen Hu, Dean's Honor List. Mirna Esteti. Elham Javdani Golparvar. Yining Ja. Johansson or Johansson? Kathleen Marina Johansson. Okay, Megan? Megan Keenan. Okay. Nicole Kamar. Cantadze. Paulina Cantadze. Kefar. Anita Kefar. Natalie Panina Klein, first class honors and Dean's Honor List. Emily Kloppenberg. Audrey Labrec, Dean's Honor List. Edie Georgia Lambert. Juliette Langin. Miriam Lacusi. Nicole Rose Ledwas. Anaëlle Thérèse Legrain. Mélodie Lemay Gaulin, Dean's Honor List. Is that Leroy or Leroy? Okay. Pauline Anaïs Leroy. Bowen Lee. Liebenstein or Liebenstein? Thank you. Jamie Liebenstein, first class honors the Louis and Bessie Baptiste Prize and Dean's Honor List. Maude Liboiron. Godwell Liu with distinction. Manlu Liu, first class honors and Dean's Honor List. Madison Parker Lowe. Carly Loft. Yingying Liu. Courtney Elizabeth Lord. Yun Liu, first class honors and Dean's Honor List. Yuan Luo. Lee Margarita McNeil. Sinyi Sickling Malnis. I know that. Good Armenian name. Lauren Manukian. Émilie Marin. Shira Regina Mattock, first class honors and Dean's Honor List. Elish McCann. Oh, wait, I got that. Yeah. Kelly Louise McDougall Persilier. Lema Mir. Shauna or Shona? Shauna Mystery. Moen. Nikita Moen. Guillaume Monette Mondou. I've been to Montenegro. Marielle Chamanilla Montenegro. Moreno. Sarah Gail Moreno. Morton or Morton? Haley Jean Morton. Catherine Elizabeth Mound. Rachel Miriam Nejad. Kirsten Monique Naprilli.
Neve Rachel Ann.
Niam Rachel Nan. Nicole Michelle Nowinski. Katarina Oliveira. Jasmine Michelle Paquette. Sujung Park. Kosara Petkova. Okay. Julia Petrovic. Marissa Stabile Phillips. Zachary Pilling. Teresa Piero. Xenia Prodakina. Prokudina, I'm sorry, I got my syllables mixed up. Apollonia Elena Podelko with distinction. Constance or Constance? Constance Raffi. Stephanie Sarah Rajabi, Dean's Honor List. Last name Resendez? Tiffany Rose Resendez with distinction. That's Roberts. Andrea Roberts. Thank you. Madeline Parker Roberts. More. Is that Robin? More Miriam Robin. Melissa Rosado da Cruz. Catherine Hannah Rosenfeld. Selena Rust. Sienna Sangra. Liana Michelle Sciotto. Janvi Rajesh Shetya with distinction. Emil Hassan Lawless. Amanda Simpson Folco. Neelan Nicholas Smith. Jean Sudo. Stephen Peter Metcalf Stasiak. Jacqueline Victoria Stevens. Emily Stimpson. Jijue Su. Mengi Su. Leah Suissa Rochelot, first class honors and Dean's Honor List. Alwyn Sun. Ahmed Takahara. Benjamin Tang. Shanti Naomi Tawil. Takach? Esfir Takach, Dean's Honor List. Rachel? Rachel Stephanie Todd. Nazila Talui. Tryon Toma, Dean's Honor List. Brianna Tolino. Tom Jordan Tyler. Emily Grace Vandeloo. Aurélie Van Oost. Alejandra Carolina Velasco Messina. Madeline Rose Vida. Alina Vocila. Denisa Voiculescu. Sula Vutu. Sasha Samuel Paul Vale, first class honors and Dean's Honor List. Letitia Williams. Thomas Wilson. Thank you. Matthew Wolf. Susanna Jane Wyatt. Bess E. Zaffron, Dean's Honor List. Zanuck or Zanuck? Okay. Alicia Marie Zanuck. Melissa Zoltak. Antibby. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, Lara Antibby, Dean's Honor List. Taylor Ellison Bamford. Alexa Maria Bedek. Catherine Belil, first class joint honors with International Development Studies, first class joint honors also with Sociology, and Dean's Honor List. Go for it. Lauren Benson Armour with distinction. Okay. Sandrine Bois. Lulu Cow. Audrey? Audrey Jane Carlton, distinction and first class joint honors in environment and sociology. Joyce Yuan Chong Chan. Last name Choi? Keatman Cheryl Choi. Just one, you keep one. Chanel Couture. Cheplo? Simone Cheplo. Amy Curry. Lena Dandry? Okay. Lena Dandry. Pfeiffer? Pfeiffer? Carly Ann Pfeiffer. Epstein or Epstein? Thank you. Hannah Aliyah Epstein. Thank you. Epstein or Epstein? Epstein. Okay. Johanna Sari Epstein. Michelle Garcia, first class honors. Darshana Gauchan. Abby Jennifer Gold. Camila Green. Michelle Guo. Nadine Hakim with distinction. Galia Maya Horwitz. Claire Kingston with distinction. Michelle Sabrina Kravchik. Anna Claire Latayad. Fiona Liang. Elizabeth Ashley Luttenberger. Camille Malone. Emmett Hudak McCleary. Caitlin McLaughlin. Lindsay Sarah Mali. Lexi Camille Michaud with distinction. Emma Miles, Dean's Honor List. Just one, thank you. Mads Matush. Just one for me, one for you. There we go. Moser? Maya Mazur. Jessica Louise Nadeau. Neudorf or Neudorf? Thank you. Michaela Andora Neudorf. Benji Notware with distinction. Aliyah Novachinsky with distinction. Siobhan Bernadette O'Connell, distinction, the first class honors, and the Matthias Bielski Prize. Caitlin Alexandra Okum. Perret? Kelly Perret. Piper? Megan Pfeiffer, distinction and first class honors. Aude Raffistin, first class joint honors with IDS and Dean's Honor List. Nathalie Roux. Meredith Jean Rowett. Taylor Savino. Vashini Suntaram. Shane Tivierge. Madeline Jane Bliss Thomas with distinction. Tian Ye. Tali Yagupov. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Urban Systems, Hannah Rabentish, distinction and first class honors. Thank you. Rachel, you want, yeah. For the degree of Bachelor of Social Work, Rachel Abadi with distinction. Naomi Gwynn Adam Johnston with distinction. Kira Rachel Beatty Dagenet with distinction. Sarah Pang Kagas. Sarah Comtois. Vanessa Lynn Comtois, Dean's Honor List. Emily Desrosiers. Karen Farley, School of Social Work Alumni Award and Dean's Honor List. Bethany Frank with distinction. Christine Starr Gale. Charlotte Garneau Bertrand. Romeo Bedard with distinction. Genevieve or Genevieve? Genevieve Gray with distinction. Amélie Houle. Last name Johan? Yes. Jean-Marc Johan. Amanda Lalonde. Gabrielle Suzanne Lavoie-Trottier with distinction. Angelie Lozeau. Caroline Brazeau. Martine or Martine? Martine McDonald. You know Susan Molnar? Okay. Paula Molnar. Kaylee Amanda Munn, Dean's Honor List. Emma Marie Noira, Dean's Honor List. Nathaniel Marcus Nurse, Dean's Honor List. Melanie Pabst Leonidas. Rebecca Pimienta, Dean's Honor List. Yerem Ryu. Joel or Joel? Joelle Schlichter. Jasmine? Jasmine Ilana Siegel. Alicia Ariel Simpson. Alicia Tetro. Noémie Tremblay, Dean's Honor List. Émilie Viens. Sebastian Westerlund, Dean's Honor List. Not least at all. Jessica Marjorie Workin-Hill with distinction.
I now invite Ms. Lexi Michaud to say a few words on behalf of all graduating students as this year's valedictorian. Ms. Michaud.
Mr. Chancellor, members of the Platform Party, fellow graduates and guests, collègues, diplômés et invités. Go back. 4 years ago, nothing felt harder than sitting in Leacock 132 with a class as big as your entire high school graduating year. Or maybe it was trying to enjoy the tasteless food of a residence cafeteria. But 4 years later, 1,460 days, 10,000 tears, and probably twice the number in beers. Nothing feels more challenging than putting McGill in the past and watching the inspiring and intelligent people of this graduating class disperse to different cities, countries, and continents. Like many of you, I applied to numerous universities across Canada, secretly convinced that I would not be accepted to most of them, especially McGill. Even now, it's easy to feel like imposters who don't necessarily belong among our brilliant peers, most notably in arts, where we are teased baselessly that our degrees don't suggest the prospect of employment. But let's talk about that McGill entrepreneurial spirit for a moment. Does the name Maria Eitzel ring a bell? Well, as a McGill Arts graduate, she is founding CEO of the Nike Foundation. How about Leonard Cohen, McGill Arts BA, class of 55? Or Wynn Butler, co-founder of Arcade Fire. I know you know Justin Trudeau, McGill class of 94. Or Gail Simmons, class of 98, who probably doesn't approve of our diets of curly fries and pizza because she's most known as judge on Top Chef. Which brings us to the core of our nutrition for 4 years, Chef on Call, launched by BA graduate Gabriel Malgabat. Shame, he was actually Concordia, but he probably wishes he were from McGill. Even if we come from strikingly different backgrounds, at this moment, we all stand in the same place, frightened out of our minds at what the world will offer, and reluctant to leave the comforting bubble that is McGill. I can't predict that all of you will achieve the same recognition that other McGill Arts graduates have, but there is something about an arts degree that gives you an expansive take on life, the world, and who you are. And guess what? We're here. We've finished, and nobody can take that away from us. We would not, however, be here without a few important individuals. It's essential to acknowledge that we gather here on the unceded land, historically the territory of the Kanangahaka Indigenous peoples. From the student groups, volunteers, and activists at McGill, to our TAs and professors, we couldn't have achieved half of what we have done without your knowledge, guidance, and support. Above all, thank you to our parents and families who have bolstered us from our McGill campus tour right up to where we stand today. How will you use your degree? C'est toujours la question. It's up to you now. Most of all, each of us needs to have faith in ourselves and our unique education. More faith than we may have had on passing that very first time through those daunting Roddick gates. Well, that's about the 300 words I was allotted, so congratulations. Félicitations, class of 2018. We're done!
Will the graduating class please stand? Je demande à tous les diplômés de se lever. In my capacity as Chancellor of McGill University, I declare and confirm that each of you is now entitled to the distinction of the degree, diploma, or certificate that has been conferred upon you, with all the honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities that are pertinent thereto. À titre de chancelier de l'Université McGill, je déclare et confirme que chacun de vous a maintenant le droit à la distinction de grade, diplôme ou certificat qui vous a été conféré, avec tous les honneurs, droits, privilèges et responsabilités qui y sont rattachés. Félicitations, congratulations. Secretary General, Ms. Edyta Rogowska, will now make a few closing remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Chers diplômés, en terminant, j'aimerais commémorer le professeur Stanley Bryce Frost, ancien membre du personnel enseignant de McGill, administrateur et historien. Il a dit ceci dans son œuvre sur l'histoire de McGill. In the words of Professor Frost, "Traditions are hard to come by, but once established, they are remarkably enduring. The university has been fortunate that the tradition was early established, that McGill is not merely an institution, but a community in which bonds of affection are strongly woven, so that a sense of belonging to McGill need not end with graduation, but can be a lifelong experience. J'espère que les liens d'amitié que vous avez tissés à McGill feront partie de tout ce que vous allez faire, tant au niveau personnel que professionnel, que ce soit ici à Montréal, au Canada ou ailleurs. En vous souhaitant le meilleur des succès, je vous dis bonne chance et bonne continuation. Félicitations.
To conclude the ceremony, please stand and join Dr. Tracy Smith-Bissett in the singing of our national anthem.